This external SSD is the fastest one I've ever used, and maybe even the fastest one in the world. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to get one for yourself. What's up, my dude? Your friendly neighborhood Tony here, and welcome back to the Spare Tech Room, where I try to help you make better tech choices. Now, what we're looking at here is a Thunderbolt 5 NVMe SSD enclosure, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's actually really easy to set up, and it is lightning fast when it comes to storage. Now, I actually did a video maybe a year or so ago about a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure. I'll link to that up here and at the end of this one if you want to check it out as well. And at the time, that was the fastest hard drive you could get until now. So what we're going to do in today's video is I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up. Again, it's really simple. And then I'm going to show you some test results from different types of hard drives so you can see the difference between something more standard and something like this. If that kind of thing sounds cool to you, do me a solid and consider subscribing to this channel. I'm trying to make a big push for 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're super close, but still, it's gonna be tight. So if you enjoy videos like this and you wanna help make a nerd's dreams come true, consider subscribing. Okay, so if you wanna get this for yourself, you're gonna need two things. One of them is the actual enclosure. And the one I have here is an ACASIS Thunderbolt 5 enclosure. Now, I bought all of this with my own money. This is kind of my own little experiment that I've been doing. But this right here is one of the best Thunderbolt 5 enclosures you can get. Now, there is one thing that you want to be sure of when you buy this. Some of these are not Thunderbolt 5 compatible. Some are just Thunderbolt 4 compatible. So I'll make sure that I link to the exact one that you should be picking up in the description box below. Make sure you get that one exactly, otherwise you might not be getting as much speed as you think you are. But yes, the ACASIS Thunderbolt 5 enclosure is pretty great. I've got it right here. Then inside that enclosure is where you're gonna put your NVMe drive. Now this is a PCIe 5.0 NVMe. And again, very important to make sure that you get exactly that. Not all enclosures are compatible with PCIe 5.0 drives and vice versa. So you want to make sure you're getting the right pairing here. Again, all linked in the description. So once you get these two things delivered to you, what you're going to do, really simple, is just pop open this case. And this is one of the reasons I really like this particular one, is that it is a toolless drive, meaning that there's a little notch right here that you just grab onto with your fingernail, and you pop it right open, and you can slide the NVMe drive right in there. So it is super easy. You just plug it in, pop it into place, and then slap this lid right back down on it. Now, it does have some thermal paste that you can apply here. So I went ahead and just threw that on mine. It can only help with heat over time. So you just slap that paste on there and then pop the lid back on. One of the things I really like about this case as well, aside from the fact that it's really easy to open up and to set up, is that it has a built-in fan. So you'll notice there's a grid right here. That's where your fan kind of exhausts out. And so when this does heat up eventually, if you're using it over a long period of time, the fan will turn on automatically and it will cool down the drive inside. Now, you do have a button here where you can turn off that fan if you just don't want it running. So you'll just press that button, it'll turn off the fan if you kind of want to deal with the fact that it might thermal throttle a little bit. Maybe you're not using this drive as much for as long a period of time and you don't need the fan. You could turn it off here. Although, if I'm being honest, I've left the fan on completely and I don't hear a thing. It is incredibly quiet unless you have your ear right up to it. So I say just leave the fan on, let it do its thing. Another thing you want to make sure of, and this comes with it, but you just want to make sure that if you're having one of these, you have it hooked up through a Thunderbolt 5 cable, one that's rated at 80 gigabits per second. So it does come with a Thunderbolt 5 cable, but just in case you're moving things around, you want to make sure that every step in the process is compatible with the last. So you have the right NVMe drive in the right case, hooked up through the right cable, and into the fastest port that you have on your computer. Now, I have a MacBook Pro, an M5 Pro MacBook Pro, and that has Thunderbolt 5 USB ports in it. So if you have a computer or a laptop that has Thunderbolt 5 ability, then you're totally fine there. Otherwise, you're just gonna get the fastest possible speeds that you can out of this. So you'll be able to do up to Thunderbolt 5 speeds, depending on what your personal setup is. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull up some stats. Now, I told you I did a video before about the Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, and when I did that video, I tested speeds of a few different things. One of the things I tested was my old Seagate drive here. This is a 4 terabyte Seagate kind of spinning drive, one of those old school ones. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the speeds here. This is a Blackmagic speed test that tests the read and write speeds of the hard drive. And you'll see that this was pretty slow. This kind of drive is not built for speed. This is built for kind of like long-term storage. So if you have something like this set up, that's the kind of speeds you can expect. Now, when you step up the game from there and you move up to an SSD, you might have something like this, which is the Samsung T7. So Samsung T7s are incredibly popular. They're small, they're lightweight. This one I think is like 500 gigs. You can get them up to, I think, like 2 or 4 terabytes. And this does increase your speed tremendously. I'll throw up the chart here. You'll see that this took my speeds from, I think it was around 40 megabits per second to like 400, I want to say read, and 800 write. I'll throw it up here so you can see it, of course. But this will increase your speed of your hard drive tremendously. However, it is nothing compared to what Thunderbolt can do. So the Thunderbolt 4 enclosure that I was using before was able to get up to speeds of about 2,700 megabits per second, which is incredible. That is insanely fast. And in fact, when I made that video, I was completely blown away by how fast it was. But again, Thunderbolt 5 is on a completely different level. So we'll throw up those speeds here so you can see exactly how fast this thing can get up to. And yeah, the speeds I was looking at were close to, I want to say 6,000 megabits per second, which is absolutely insane. Now, who is something like this for? Because it's not going to be cheap, I'm not going to lie to you. And not everyone needs this insane amount of speed, but I'll tell you who does. If you're doing video editing at a high level, if you're moving around a lot of 4K or even 8K footage, then every little bit of speed is going to be helpful. Maybe not necessarily in the editing process. You can generally edit 4K footage off of something like this, but moving around large files regularly is going to be so much faster, and it's going to save you so much more time on something like this. Other people that might appreciate it are gamers. If you have a really sweet setup with a bunch of large video games that you want to be able to fire up quickly, having them on a Thunderbolt 5 drive is going to be the fastest option for you. Now again, this might not be the most cost-effective move for everyone, but if you're looking to pull out all the stops and get the fastest possible setup, then this is what you have to go with. Of course, there are those few things that you want to be aware of. You want to make sure that you have the right enclosure and the right NVMe drive and the right cable. But as long as you have that, you should be good to go. But let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions or comments, definitely drop them down there. I'll do my best to answer them. As I mentioned, I'll also link that Thunderbolt 4 video right over here if you want to check that out next. Make sure you subscribe. That way I can see you next time in the Spare Tech Room. Be good.